Welcome everyone. Today we have this new 2022 Toyota Corolla Cross, and I've got some things I like and don't like. First of all, real quick, I'm just going to go through a few things that are pros and cons with this Corolla Cross, and I want you to know I have a full review in the description below, so be sure to check that out if you want to see all the details. But let's jump into it. Now, starting with my dislikes, in no particular order, the cons, the road noise in this Corolla Cross is pretty bad, and I only mention it because it's worse than pretty much everything that I have tested recently that this could maybe be a competitor to. It's louder than just about everything in recent memory. It's like Toyota has done nothing for the road noise. It's like there's nothing that they've done at all to try to at least suppress that even a little bit, especially in this top trim right here. Maybe the hybrid will be a little quieter, I don't know, but wind noise is okay. It's not bad, but even on just a surface that's less than perfectly smooth, you get a ton of road noise in here. So keep that in mind. I don't expect a quiet vehicle for this class, but I expect this to at least be competitive with its competitors, and it's not. It's louder. Now, another one of my things that I don't like, a con for some of you won't care, is the fact that these seats only get lumbar support on this top trim. So you can see we have power adjustments, we've got the two-way lumbar support, but this is the top XLE trim. You don't get lumbar support at all on the lower trims, so be sure to keep that in mind. I have been pretty comfortable in here, but I definitely pushed the lumbar out, so just wanted you to know. The next thing that I don't like is that Toyota intentionally made the hybrid, which is not available yet, better in some ways than this one. That you can't, and some things that you can't get on this one that you get with the hybrid. For example, this will come with Toyota's Safety Sense 2.0, and you can adjust some of that on here, but the hybrid gets the upgraded, more advanced 3.0 system standard. The other thing is that this non-hybrid model does not have wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You do have to be wired in, but you can get wireless standard on the hybrid model. Plus, it's going to have the new multimedia system, because this one is definitely not very good. I mean, it works just fine, but the hybrid is going to be nicer with this system and with the wireless Apple CarPlay Android Auto. Another negative to this Corolla Cross is the back seat for a couple different reasons. Now, first of all, this armrest is only on the top trim. That's kind of silly. You're not going to give your second row passengers armrests unless they go for the top trim. The next thing is the legroom. So the legroom's not terrible. I can sit behind myself. I'm 5'9", but if you're much taller in the front or in the back, you're not going to have much for legroom. Plus, look how crammed the car seat is right there. I mean, that front seat is in an uncomfortable position that my wife won't even sit in. The other thing is this. Some competitors that are smaller, like the Hyundai Kona, significantly smaller, has more combined legroom. The Kia Seltos has a lot more combined legroom. Honda HR-V, Volkswagen Taos, they all have more legroom than this, and still good cargo space too. Toyota just kind of did not give us the most amount of back seat legroom, so keep that in mind. Now, starting with my likes in no particular order, it's that this is so much better than the CHR, the previous small little crossover from Toyota that they still have, but it's smaller, or it's better with its overall dimensions. Its interior is better overall. Things are laid out better. It's much more functional. It doesn't have the awkward little back door. It's still efficient. It's got more power. I mean, it's just better in every way compared to the previous CHR, which is what you were stuck with for a smaller little Toyota crossover. Now, another like I have is that there's a ton of standard safety features and some optional ones, like a lane keeping system, automatic braking, you can get blind spot monitoring, parking sensors front and back. This is going to give you radar adaptive cruise control that you can do on here, standard as well. Plus, you can turn on your lane keeping system on the steering wheel. There's actually 9 airbags in here as well, so you're covered with your curtain airbags even down low. It's nice that you've got so many airbags even in a smaller economy compact type of vehicle. This gives us LED headlights standard, and they all do a pretty nice job, but you can also option up and get adaptive lights, which I didn't necessarily expect from Toyota in this particular class. I have a night video showing that off. They do a nice job turning down the road, so they light it up pretty well. Plus, I know I complained about how this doesn't have the most advanced safety system like the hybrid, but it still comes standard with Toyota's safety system, which is great. Okay, my next like is going to be in the back seat. I know I already harped on this back seat, but one thing that I thought was fantastic was that these rear seat air conditioning vents are standard on every trim. Now, just a few years ago, the RAV4 didn't even offer rear seat AC vents. So I love that we have those on every trim. It definitely helps keep this back seat cool. I just wish you could actually fit maybe some children back here in their car seats. But besides the point, it's really nice having that. Plus, below that, there's even a couple of USB charging ports, so that's good. Now, the next two things are sort of under the hood related. The next one is that Toyota obviously has a reputation for longevity for the most part. Now, this engine is direct and port injected, which bodes well for hopefully having a good long-lasting engine, even though this has the less favorable type of variable transmission. I like that this 4-cylinder is still direct and port injected, when most vehicles nowadays are going to just direct inject it. So I hope this engine can get a lot of miles out of it. Now, the next thing is that the efficiency is good. The gas model only does good with efficiency. It actually isn't quite as efficient as the RAV4 on the highway, the bigger RAV4, but overall efficiency is very good. And this is gonna get a hybrid, which can get 37 miles per gallon combined and have more power. That's gonna be a nice little offering in this little crossover. So to conclude, what do you like or not like about this Corolla Cross? This 2022 Corolla Cross is all new for this year. It's smaller than the RAV4, bigger than the Corolla hatchback, and slots right in with some of the competition that I talked about a little bit in this video. But what do you like or not like about this Corolla Cross? If you want to see the description or a detailed video of this Corolla Cross and a night video, check the description below. Overall, I think it's a good offering. Obviously, it's not perfect, but in general, it's a nice little crossover.